Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft Studio. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be making this. It could be a Valentine's card, it could be an anniversary card, and it's from the Love You Always suite. And I've used quite a few of the products here actually. I've used this bundle here, which is Forever and Always bundle. It's a little bit clearer on this page. I love the way you get the cutout here, but also the kind of silhouette behind it as well. So that was my main reason for buying this this set. I've also used these gorgeous Love You Always foil sheets. What else have I used on here? The ribbon, which is Blushing Bride ribbon. I've used the dies to cut these little strips, and I've also used this what's this one here, number 8, Love You Always Speciality Designer Series paper. You get 4 of each of those designs in, so they're really pretty. So it's a really lovely suite. Oh, and then finally this dotty paper from the True Love Designer Series paper. So most of this comes from this suite. Again, I've used the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder, just to show you as well how different it can look on different cards, just to give that bit of texture behind. So I'm going to go ahead now and tell you the pieces you need here to make this card. Okay, so you'll need a thick Whisper White card base, so that's just half a piece of A4 cardstock cut folded in half. You need a Whisper White, so I'm saying Whisper White, it's now Basic White, isn't it? Basic White layer, which measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and I've already gone ahead and embossed this with the embossing folder. You need 3 identical pieces here size wise for this label. So like I say, this is from the Designer Series paper, also Whisper White, and then the Sahara Sand foil from that foil selection as well. And these all measure 4 by 2 inches. We've got a strip of the foil paper here, and that measures 5 5/8 of an inch by 1 inch. And then I've gone ahead already and cut, so that's obviously the piece you're left with. So you could use it on another card. And actually, if you've got my kit for this month, this is one of the cards included. I've left this piece in so that you can use that. So this is the piece that the words that you get from there. I don't know if you can see on here, but I've sunk them down into this piece here, into the DSP. It's actually further down. So these 2 are also dies. There's 3 of those, but I've just used 2 from this set. They're also cut in the Rococo Rose foil sheets here. So you get Blushing Bride, Rococo Rose, and also Sahara Sand. The ribbon measures, let's see here, about 5 inches, 4 1/2, 5 inches, and then you need some linen thread as well to tie around here. Is that all the supplies? Oh, one more thing. My hearts were having problems with deliveries here in the UK with UPS. It's hopefully nearly sorted, but I didn't have hearts, so I remembered, ta-da, on this little dog punch here, there's a heart. So that's how I got these 2 here. There's always something in my stash that I can use, and you just have to try and think outside the box sometimes. So let's go ahead and put this together. Now, if you don't have dimensionals, you can stick this flat to the card, but I quite like the white on white background here. So, but I'm going to prop mine up with some dimensionals. So choose which side you want to be showing, and then pop some dimensionals on the back. So you want this to be really quite level, so I tend to put quite a few on. So 3 rows of 3 normally does the trick. Okay, last one off. I always seem to do my nails just before I do these videos. Obviously I want them to look nice in the videos, but equally they're a lot shorter than when I when I'm designing sometimes, so it takes me a little while to get those backings off, so I try and speed it up a little bit for you. Okay, so pop the layer on. So there's a little border all the way around. Now we're using the delightful tag topper punch to create the label here. So with all three of these, and if you have my kit, I've already done this for you, you need to slide these in and get your tags. I love this punch. I've used it so much for, you can use it for little bags and boxes, obviously labels. So versatile, so it's one of my favourite punches. Okay, get rid of those pieces a sec. Put that to one side. So first of all, we're going to stick this strip down here. So I'm just going to use some Tombow for that. If you find it's slightly too long, just trim the end. Obviously I try and cut everything really accurately, but you know, human, room for error. So I'm going to pop that down here. And actually if it does go over slightly, it's not really going to show. Okay, and then with these little strips here, I wanted them poking out just underneath the label, so we won't stick those on right now. We'll put the label together first, just so that we can line up where we need to have it. So you can put these in whichever order you like. Oh, actually one more thing we need to do with this before, we need to cut the little piece to sink this into so that you can see the white underneath. So let me get the dies here. So these are the Always dies, and I do love the Always as well. I wanted this one to, because I can't put stamping out in my kits and not everyone's got this set, so I just wanted to make something that made sense without the wording from the stamps as well. But these are the other bits I was saying to you about that I cut the strips as well. But you get some little flowers. I love the Always as well, so it's a really good die set. So we're going to use this piece here to cut the kind of background of the love into this top layer. So I'm going to get my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Well used cutting plates here. I love this. If you've only got a small piece to cut, it's fantastic that you don't have to bring out your bigger version. Okay, so I'm just lining that up on here. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but I've left a little gap either end. Pop that down, just run that through. That's it. Pop these to one side. Okay, there we go. So again, if you have the kit, this is already done for you, because obviously I don't know that if you have the dies or not, but I wanted something that when I put this down, I've raised this top layer so that this can be, the word can be sunk down. But if you don't have dimensionals, again, you can just lay it flat and it can still look effective on there. So this is, if it was flat, you just kind of pop those bits down in there perfectly fine. So, but I'm going to raise them up. And what you want to do when we put these together, you're going to line up the holes here and then slightly offset each one so that you see a little bit of each down here. But first of all, we want to put some dimensionals behind here if you're going to raise yours up as well. So mini dimensionals, or you could use bigger ones and cut them down, that's fine. Okay, it's quite a busy pattern on the back, but really what you want to do is go around fairly close to the edge of this. Obviously you don't want to see the dimensionals and you can't get to all the pieces, but you need to prop that middle piece up. So we're going to just go around, like I say, you could use mini dimensionals for the little intricate bits and then some bigger ones on the outside so that you're not using up all your minis. Let's get some bigger ones here. There we go. And then I'll hold it back up to show you where I've popped mine. So basically we just want that to be elevated. Maybe a small one there as well. Let's pop another mini. Okay. So if you see there, it's quite hard on our backing paper. So like I say, we're going to layer that onto there. Now what you want to do is make sure you don't kind of go off the end like that. So let's go ahead and take these off. Okay, so whoops, take your white one and we're just going to, oh, that's stuck down already. Didn't want that to happen. Line up the hole at the top because you want those all to be, just be careful that your dimensionals aren't going to stick down. And then, like I say, just make sure this, the top of the L doesn't go too far. You want to still see the white underneath. So you've got a little bit here hanging out. And then we're going to do the same with the Sahara sand one underneath, about the same showing. So when you put your dimensionals on, just make sure you don't have any on this piece here. So I'm going to put them on the back of here. So I want them more on this one side. Bigger ones this time will be fine. Which way did I say? This side. I have to check sometimes that I'm not sticking them on the wrong bit, but actually this one doesn't go too far off, so you wouldn't be too bad if you put more on. So about that, you can have a little check first if you want to see that you've got them pretty much in the right place. I might put one more at the top actually here. Again, if you don't have dimensionals, you can just layer these with glue. So looking for about the same distance at the bottom here. Once you've got the dimensionals on, it's a bit more tricky to gauge, but there we go. So you've got the 3 layered up there. Now when this comes out, sometimes you've still got little bits of the foil in here that needed to come out of the letter, so just poke those out if you've got your snips or a sharp tool. Get rid of those extra bits. So now have a little practice about where these go, because you really want to know before you stick them down. You could cut these out with the adhesive strips, adhesive sheets, which would be really good, because then you'd already have the sticky on the back and you wouldn't have to worry about getting glue everywhere. But you can see it sinks down in, but just have a little practice to see where they go. I'm going to leave the L in there for now and just pop some dots of glue on the back of here. I'm not going to put too many on, because once you've put it into place, you don't want to slide it around too much with the glue, because you don't want the glue showing in places it shouldn't be. So that's why I suggest sort of having a bit of a practice first, because we are just going to drop it in. So you kind of follow those, follow the shape of the word. Just hold it in place for a second, and then we can get the L back out. Now we've got that one in place, and do the same. So pretty in this foil. And obviously it's Valentine's Day coming up this weekend. It's actually the day after my daughter's birthday, my eldest daughter. So I've had Beau's birthday already, and then Madison's turning 15 on Saturday, and then Valentine's is on Sunday. So either a Valentine's card or an anniversary card. I wanted to make it for either. This one again is going to drop into that hole, and just move it slightly if you need to, but not too much so you're not showing the glue. And there we go, that's sunken into there. I love the little sparkle on there. So bring my card back in. Oh, actually we'll put the ribbon on. So with the ribbon, you could choose the more glimmery side or this side, depending on which you like with this paper. Obviously, it might look like, to other people like it clashes a bit, but it's all in the same suite. So to me, it works. I quite like the plain side for this card. So I'm going to feed this through the little hole. I've given you a bit extra so you can trim afterwards if you've got it in a kit, because often when you put ribbon through, it will fray. So I've just staggered them slightly at the top, and then we're going to tie the piece of linen thread around here to create the little bow here. So you might need someone's help holding it in place. Basically just slide the linen thread underneath, tie a single knot as close as you can to the top of those labels so that it pinches it in. And it's handy if you can to tie another knot on top, because then it will stop it from moving while you're trying to tie your bow. That's why you might need someone's finger there. You can leave it just as a knot if you want to. I'm going to attempt a bow here on camera. You can either do actually little bunny loops and tie them together, or a regular bow. I haven't left myself too much twine here actually, so there we go. It should just be enough. If when you get to this stage it's not quite tight, the knot, just put your finger on the knot, pull the edges, the little lengths down so the loops get smaller, and then pull them again and it will get tighter without you losing the ends of the twine. There we go. If you want to snip the ends, I can also snip the ends of the ribbon if they got a little bit frayed, just to tidy them up a bit. Okay, so like I said, we're going to have these, I lined them up with the top and bottom of the designer series paper. So I had the bigger one on the left there, the smaller one, and I had it hanging over, just hanging over this layer but not further than the edge of the card on this edge. Obviously you do it however you want, and this would then layer on top, but have a look first before you stick them down to see where you want them to be. But that worked quite well for me. So just some glue on here. Like I say, this one I just went slightly over the edge, but I lined it up with the bottom edge of the designer series paper. And this one, it's just another way that you don't have to use loads of ribbon, but you can still get a splash of colour to tie in with the rest of your card. So about there. Just try not to get any liquid glue on these foil strips, because it does make a bit of a mess of them, she says, as it comes pouring out here. Let me just find a little scrap here of paper. I don't think this will show because it's underneath, but yeah, so try not to use too much glue. If you do get it on there, try not to get rid of it too much, let it dry, because it will smudge. Okay, so again, you can either, did I stick this down or did I put them on dimensionals? I think I stuck this bottom one down. If you want to post this in the UK, it will be a large letter if you use dimensionals on the layers. If you're just giving it to somebody, obviously it doesn't matter, but just a word of warning, one layer of dimensionals normally gets away with a regular stamp, but more than one layer, normally you need a large letter. So have a look, see where that's going to sit before you pop it down. Press that down. There we go. And then I'm going to just punch a couple of hearts with the dog punch. I'm not sure it's called the dog punch, is it? It is. Dog builder. There we go. So a couple of those. Some glue on the back. Actually, I've got, well, it's actually an anniversary tomorrow. It's going to be a bit late, but we can kind of blame Royal Mail and COVID at the moment. This is the trouble, when you make cards for a living, you can't just pop out and buy one or order one online. You need to make them all. So, and with Madison's birthday coming up, I'm a little bit behind, but there we go. I hope you enjoy making this little Valentine's anniversary card. Take care. See you soon. Bye.